like at different phases of life, you want to be different things, right? Let's say, for example, when I was in 10th, I was like, I wanted to be a doctor. So, but I was like, I wanted to balance. So I tried to crack both medicine as well as in engineering. Okay. So in my first counseling, I narrowly missed medicine by 3 ranks. I got a payment seat, but I couldn't afford it. So I picked up engineering. But 2 months later, there was another concept called recounseling. In recounseling, I got medicine, but I decided to be an engineer. So it's like that was like that. And then during engineering, I was so passionate about electrical engineering. I thought I should be like doing only electrical engineering, and then doing great in electrical engineering. Then figured out that is not working out. Then I kept on iterating for different things. Then after my MBA, I wanted to do great in finance. Then I realized that how what to say. I got so bored with finance, and then at that time, one of my roommate said that we're not doing great by working in finance and stuff. So we thought like we should do something on our own. Then me and my roommate started since we are good at finance, we started CFA coaching institute. And then I realized that it's a very hard task to do it because teaching is very difficult. Throughout the day, you teach completely drained, and we also felt that is not going to scale pretty much. So then we stopped that and then tried to start a restaurant and we didn't have that much of cash to do that. Then started up a cloud kitchen format, like primarily. We call it the Apata Biryani, which is like a cloud kitchen where we take orders online or through phone and go and deliver. And then from there we kept iterating, and let's say we started EduRaft, and then that didn't go well. We started Shout, and then Shout only got remodified into a different form and became Ninjacart. I mean, even in Ninjacart, it has to go through one more iteration from B2C to B2B. So it's like yeah, that's how the journey has been primarily. Like there was at any point of time there was nothing like I wanted to do this, I got to do that, and I got very happy about it. Like I kept on iterating, moving from one field to another field till something really worked out. In biryani startup, I felt like maybe if I would have been a cook, I would have done it well, or I should have been in that catering space to identify cooks and bring them onto the platform. And the biryani startup really failed because we couldn't find a better cook. So then, even after coming to Bangalore, we thought of starting some other thing in the same food space. But then we realized that since we don't know how to cook, we don't have we were not able to get into the network of cooks, we couldn't start it. So that made us realize that any startup that we're going to start later, I should be like, we should learn or at least develop the skills to either manage or do it. So that's when post the biryani startup, we said, okay, tech is where we should, tech based startup is something we should be doing. So then I started learning coding. So then I started like, maybe any other startup that I do, maybe I will not be able to afford a tech guy to work for us in a bootstrap or when you're in a stealth mode. It makes a lot more sense to do it by myself. So then I started customizing WordPress sites, then learned PHP, then learned SQL, and then had learned how to set up a server, post it on the server, to go on to learn Android, iOS, or say iPhone app, and then Java, and then Mongo. You name it. Like most of the technologies, you need to build up startup products for, let's say, 2 years. I learned it. And then even for Ninjacart, the base version of Ninjacart is complete. The base architecture was designed by me and also my co-founder, who's also like uh, after his MBA product management, he again got back to coding to do that. So that is one of the key learning. If you want to start up something, primarily in, let's say, tech space, you need to either know to code or at least know how that works to manage. Right, outsourcing things might not really help. Similarly, if you have to be if since we want to do vegetables and fruits, we went to the market, stayed out of the market to learn how that works and all of that. So that's very key. That's one of the key learning. The other key learning is on the founders, right? Previously, when you start up, you are very passionate about your shareholding and say, I want to be 100% owner of my startup. So you don't invite a lot of talent who can share the burden and shoulder to move forward, because there is more downs than ups in a startup. right? So then in EduRaft, we had a startup of 3 people, and then when I really we couldn't perform, and I had a personal problem because of this, we went down. The other person felt it very difficult to manage on his own, so that's one of the reason why we had to shut down EduRaft. But when we formed a shout at Ninjacart, the one thing is like I should have like as many as 4 to 5 people, so that even if one person goes down, the other team should be able to take it forward and run. And it's not one person's responsibility; it's like 5 people's responsibility is much better than one. So we were very open about sharing the what I say shareholding and stuff, and we were largely distributed. So it helped us to grow. That's like second learning. Like have more people to support is always. Instrumental to do a thing, and it's not. It's like you are 100% owner of a 1 million startup compared to 5% ownership of $1 billion startup. So this like phenomenally different, right? So that's a mindset which I could learn from the previous startups. Another thing is also like the speed of execution, the risk-taking ability, the courage to execute faster. All of those things, I think, were my past learnings. We were very slow. We were not very ambitious. We were not very risk-taking. Though we started up, we moved very slowly. In Ninjacart, we were like from day one, we were very aggressive in our growth, what we wanted to achieve, how we wanted to move forward, etc. So it was obviously it's like a lot difficult because as coming from a lower middle class family and earning like 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs a month was like a crazy thing. My family couldn't even imagine that someone could pay you like a lakh or two per month. Right at that time, I went and told my father that I'm quitting. He thought I'm a lunatic or something has happened to me. Someone has done black magic to me. So that I've gone that. Even when I was doing this restaurant startup, he used to say that you want to wash what to say used plates of someone. This is what you want to do after studying. People used to look down upon the kind of job you wanted to do, right? You studied means you should sit in office and AC room, do some elegant work and come back home. That's it. Other thing is also that what I faced is people, right? The traditional Indian mindset is in your young age you study hard, very hard to get to a stable career. But once you get to a stable career, they don't want you to work hard. They want you to enjoy your family life. I felt like you gave me so much of aspiration that you had to study, you had to become great in life and all of that. But according to them, greatness is you get a job in, let's say, some of the software companies as a coder, and then let's say go to job by 10 o'clock, come back by 6 o'clock, lead a happy life, get married, get kids, kind of get going, right? But for that, I need not have studied hard. Even if I wouldn't have studied, I would have been easily able to pull it off, right? But people don't get it. Like initial time, let's say first standard kids go, they push it so much to study so hard. But after their education, they feel like, oh, why my son is working so hard? He has to enjoy his life. It's like the mindset of parent shifts. Okay. And the other thing is a comparison, right? Let's say this guy got married, he has kids. You didn't get married, you don't have kids. And when you will do this, there are certain like check boxes which your parents wants to take, and you're completely against it. You are a rebel in the family, right? The one moment you become a rebel in the family, the parents don't want to show your face to anyone. So like sometimes I used to tell them, why are you hiding me from everyone? Like it's not like something I've done wrong in my life. But those are the initial days. Like people sort of hide from hide or don't tell people what I'm doing. They will, let's say if you're going to a family function, they'll say, hey, don't tell anyone what you're doing. I'm like, okay, I'm not stealing, but why should I not tell? Then I stopped going out only. Like I feel like, okay, if someone is not able to acknowledge what I'm doing, it doesn't. I'm not meant to be around them, right? So there are a lot of things like that that kept happening, right? But now they are able to maybe come to terms with it. Still now, my mom, I'm not very sure whether she really feels that whatever is happening is good or not, but she still feels like now everything is open. Like I put in my Facebook that I quit my job and all of that. So now all my family also knows that. So now she can't hide no more. But yeah, that's the thing. The societal pressure and the construct of the society only like doesn't allow entrepreneurs to come up in life, and failures are seen as like let's say the naysayers, right? When you go out of what the societal norm is, and if you fail, that's the reason they want to give to their family, saying that if you go like this guy, you will lose your life, rather than saying, hey, this guy took a risk, it's okay, he didn't succeed, but he has done something which no one else had the courage to do it. So that's what I feel, right? Maybe things are evolving now. I think lot more people are coming out and saying that okay, it's okay to do a business, but previously everyone used to do a business. My mom still feels like, how can I tell someone that you are selling tomatoes? Like, you're selling tomatoes, you're selling tomatoes, right? So, but yeah, that's always there. The social stigma of doing a business, and the let's say the point is, if you are not studied, it's okay, you do a business. But if you are studied, you should do a job. But ideally, it should be the reverse. But people, maybe the societies for that. See, the point is, it becomes a matter of existence and passion. Okay. So if you have to prioritize the existence and passion, you'll first prioritize. You have to exist. Then only you can carry forward your passion. So when I closed down EduRaft, I was hardly left with 500 rupees in the bank, and I don't have the support of anyone. Luckily, some of my savings came from some postal savings I had for 30K that came. With that, I moved to Bangalore. So at that time, with 30K, no support, I don't think I could have continued to do anything better. So working was very crucial for me. But I had a question in that time whether to go for, let's say, I could have got back to, let's say, the finance domain previously where I was working. Like, I could have found a job in my old company because I was in a very good relationship with all my bosses, right? But I felt like, one day I will again start up, that's for sure. And then, so me and my co-founder Sharath, we both are very sure we'll start up again. But we need to get to some place where we could build some money and do something again. But then we wanted that experience to be valuable for the future and not really just for earning for existence. So that's why we decided I will not get back to my old job. I will find a job in a startup and see how startups are run, how big startups are run. Maybe I was not able to do something great in EduRaft. Maybe I will learn what did I do wrong in EduRaft so that I could correct that. So we joined. I think after EduRaft, I joined Common Floor, and post Common Floor, I joined Taxi Fisher. Both of them was a very eye-opening experience for me. The way they manage things, the way they run, and how tech played a crucial role. What is speed? Okay, if you are not like 3 months, it was what changed people's life, right? In that case, if you are in a war, how do you execute? All of that was like phenomenal learning for me. And then that gave me the courage here. Previously, in EduRaft, I would have said, like, I want to build this startup. I couldn't dream about building a big startup. But Taxi for sure gave me the, like, opened my horizon of thinking, and I could really say that, okay, I want to make it this big. I wanted to do it big. I don't want to do it in a small manner slowly. I want to do big. I want to do it fast. So that kind of exposure Taxi for sure gave. So, and what went in the mindset when I was in Taxi for sure is we put our heads down and kept executing. The learning was phenomenal and stuff. We made good relationships with people. In fact, the best thing that happened to us was in Taxi for sure was Raghu. We got in touch with Raghu. I was working for Raghu, and we could build a great relationship. The other thing is, like, two more co-founders I found in Taxi for sure. So yeah, initially till Ninjacart took off, the thing which drew me was problem solving, right? Identifying a problem and solving it and making sure it works and can I scale. Okay, that was the key thing when we initially started Ninjacart. But as we scaled, we went through different phases, right? How do we build the initial team and problem solve at the same time? How do we find what are the nuances to solve for? What are the problems we need? How different the solutions has to be? What could be a tech solution? What could be a process solution? What could be a people solution? And scale a company to a level, right? But right now, if you ask me, right, so that kept driving me, the problem solving, right? So the only thing which kept driving me is problem solving, but the problem solving is of different types. First thing is like let's say buying from farmer is a problem. It's a problem we need to solve. How do you convince the farmer to buy? What is the value proposition? How do you buy it from a? How do you sell it to a customer? What is the pitch? How do you build teams, etc. Right? So at every point of time, there is one problem which you are trying to solve, for which finding a solution, reiterating it, and carrying it forward was the thing which keeps me growing, which gives me the adrenaline and the thing to come to office. Right? If everything is solved and things are so smooth, then maybe then that's like there's nothing else to do, right? Then it becomes like a normal life. But life is not normal, and you have to find answers to keep going. Right? It's like a puzzle. You have to solve a puzzle to move forward, and that's what keeps us motivated to keep going. Yeah, that's like, and I think the best thing that startup gives you is as you progress to the next step, there is another problem, and you progress to another step, there is another problem, and you have to solve the problem to go to the next step, and that's what keeps you going. See, I don't know whether I'm in the right place to give an advice or not, but what really kept me motivated is like I enjoy, as I said in the last part, I enjoy the journey. Right? If you enjoy the journey, then you will want to do it, or you want to take the journey. But if you're worried about the destination, then you don't start again, or you don't even start. Right? So the point is, people generally think about the destination and then they start, and then they get frustrated as you don't reach the destination. But I think a destination itself is a mirage, right? Previously, let's say 5 6 years back, I used to tell people, if I raise 1 million, I'll be the happiest person, and that's what I wanted to start up for. Sometimes I used to think like, when you raised 1 million and you felt, you didn't even feel anything. It's like, hey, that is not what it is, right? Now the destiny is moved forward. Then we said once that what is it? This is a problem I wanted to solve. If I solve, I'll be happy. And now that problem is solved. But now I feel like, but before I could enjoy the highness of achieving that solution, or let's say you graduate, you feel so happy. But by the time you would have been into another next year, let's say 10th you pass, you before even you could feel happy, you are in 11th and you are worried about 12th, and you pass 12th, before even you could feel it, you are in engineering or medicine or any other degree, and you are starting, right? Before even you enjoy the high of being graduated, you are looking out for a job, right? So the destination keeps moving. So now if you're worried about the destination and you're not enjoying the journey, you will not. So if you want to be an entrepreneur and you're starting up, the only thing I'll think is, only start up if you feel and if you enjoy the journey, because there's going to be more downs than ups. So, and you should be prepared for it. The joy of solving a problem and the joy of enjoying the journey will keep you forward, going forward. So that is something which I will tell to anyone who's like starting up.